Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back. That's good.
Yep. Okay.
Hi, FlossTube. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. Long time. Yeah. good to be here again, though. Hey,
yeah.
FlossTubers.
Yeah, the last FlossTube we did was the end of February. So we're sorry about that. We really meant to come back. We have so much to show you.
Yeah, well, we're not going to try to go as long as we did the last time.
We're going to try, but we do have a lot.
A lot of stuff, yeah.
So grab something to eat, grab a snack, grab your stitching, take the dog out first if any.
Anyway, for those who are new too as well, we should introduce ourselves maybe.
Yes,
you think
I think that would be a great idea.
Well, you start. Yeah.
I'm Kathy, also known as Carolina Cross Stitcher on Instagram. And
I am Peter, and
my better half.
Pete's Bee Skeps, who have been working really busy here lately, which is the main reason why I haven't been able to do any floss tubes, and because Kathy doesn't like to do it on her own.
No, I've done it, but it's not as much fun.
Yeah,
it's good to have somebody to bounce stuff off of. Yeah.
I told her that she could start a floss tube, and I'd come in, say hi, and of course it'll be all covered with dust because I'm making so many spools for the tiny towns here now. It's been keeping me pretty darn busy.
Yeah, and we might need to do that at some time, but I did do a whip parade. I've done a couple of whip parades by myself.
Yeah, you can do it.
But I'd rather you be with me.
Well,
because I love you.
I'll sit here. We do got a lot of stuff to show you though, and we're glad to be here.
Yes,
and
we're very glad to be here.
We're trying out a new camera here now, so hopefully we'll have better success.
Yeah, we have no idea what's recording, so we hope you can see us and you'll be able to see.
It's more realistic. I mean, if we had a camera set up, a real professional camera, we wouldn't see it either.
Well, that's true, I guess.
We've been using our computer before so we could see what we're doing, but we didn't know if we were looking in the right place, and we have problems with sounds and technical issues, and so I think this might be an improvement.
And a lot of times it was me, the technical issue, that, forget to put the microphone on.
Among other things. Okay, but anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway, glad to be here.
Glad to be here. This is a video about cross stitching and sometimes quilting
and woodworking, specifically wood turning.
Wood turning. So it's a floss tube and a wood tube.
Wood tube, yeah.
Right.
Woodchuck tube.
Yeah, but we kind of wanted to start off with some comments.
Yes.
Yeah, from our last, we had so many comments, and we just appreciate all of y'all. And we got some new subscribers, and we love to read your comments and be able to chat back and forth with you and get to know you, and you get to know us.
Indeed.
It just makes us feel like we're connecting more with you. So thank you. But Josie said that Peter shares some of the same heritage as you do. Yeah, because she has some Scottish ancestry.
Yep. Apparently I do too. Firths come from the Firth clan in Scotland. Yeah. And but everybody else in my family is all Irish. McNeelys, McPhees, and all kinds of stuff. Where the Firth came from, nobody wants to tell me about it. I don't understand what the deal with that is, but anywho.
Maybe something shady in it.
Maybe something going on there. I don't know. But yeah, that's where my clan comes from. And I know I must come from that lineage there because I got the pasty white skin to show. I come from a long line of pasty white folks, so anyway.
Yeah. Well, I'm French, Canadian, Cherokee, and English.
How about that?
Yeah. I don't know what else. I haven't done the. I know. I haven't done the DNA thing, ancestry.
I don't know. All I know is I'm as white as a man can get, and that's it for me.
Well, until you get out in the sun, and then you're red.
Then I'm red, either white or red.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you for that comment.
Yeah, last time we mentioned a commenter, one of our watchers that had communicated with us. I couldn't remember her name, but her name was Linda Kennison. And Linda, you had said you were the one that suggested Peter paint tobacco barns.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that idea. Yeah. We have so many here in Carolina. I mean, there used to be a tobacco industry around here, and in fact, they converted in the next town over, Durham. They converted all those tobacco warehouses into restaurants, and that. And the smell is still there and everything.
The beautiful old hardwood floors. My goodness, I remember when we were kids, we would go for a ride on Sunday afternoon we go through the country, and that's all you would see for miles was tobacco fields, barns, hay fields. It was beautiful. We don't have that much. We still have country, but not as much as we used to have.
No. Progress.
Yeah. Let's see, Stella. Hey, Stella.
Hey, Stella.
She said she got her art holder, and she's very happy. And I meant to show you mine. Well, anyway, you saw it in a picture. So you've got the daddy, and I've got the mama.
yeah, you got the big one there, Stella.
You got the big one.
But love how that curly maple shows up with the little lines and the light goes through it. But we're so glad that you like it and that you're happy with it there. So,
right.
But thank you for your kind comments.
Yeah, thank you for your comments. We're glad you received it. We're always a little hesitant when we send stuff out of the country. Yeah. So we're happy you received it. Becca, hey Becca.
Hey Becca.
She said that her husband was also stationed at Okinawa.
Yeah. Was he at Camp Schwab, Camp Hansen? We used to go to the Marine bases there, and we bring our guitars and play and have a good old time and fellowship with folks, and it was a lot of good times back then. He's
a little bit younger than you are, so you probably didn't know him.
Well, everybody's a little bit younger than me, so anyhow.
And Lisa, you said that your grandfather was a woodworker, and that you think you get your love of wood from him. So that's always wonderful when you have those kind of memories with grandparents or parents.
Sweet times,
Yeah. And Heather said that she also loves French General fabric. Yeah, me too, Heather. I love it. And Kim Deal, I still haven't started on my quilt. Oh my goodness. But anyway, one of these days, Kim said, remember we asked folks if they voted for holes in the Bee Skeps or not.
There you go,
right? Because we made them for a long time without the holes, and then we started making them with the holes. So it's nice to have just a variety, and she said she votes for the holes.
I like it too. I think that's just a natural way things should be.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like the holes too, but the only thing is, when you do a hole, then you're saying this is the front, and there might be something on the back.
I know. Well, they're just gonna have to spin it to see all the grain. Life is full of choices.
Yeah.
So, but I like the holes too. So.
Yeah.
In fact, I wasn't gonna let anyone out here. That was gonna be like our trademark. All of our Bee Skeps would have holes in it. Yeah. But as sometimes happens, I kind of get overruled.
No, you don't. You got a mind of your own for sure.
Yep.
And a stubborn streak just like your mom.
Oh, well, pot calling the kettle black there. But we'll move along.
Yeah. Linda and Angie and so many others of you, we just thank you for your comments and for about Peter's painting of the Highlands.
Yeah. I'd like to do more of that. And I've been sketching out some different type castles, and I don't know whether I'm going to do a ruins or an actual castle there or something, but it's probably going to lead to other things I'm greatly inspired by your comments, and it has spurred thoughts and ideas. The problem is, if I can ever get out of my shop long enough to spread some paint around, then I could do some of this stuff. But thank you for your suggestions.
Been really busy.
And your kind comments for that too.
And Merritt, hey Merritt, she suggested that you put some sheep in the field.
Sheep, okay.
Y'all had lots of great suggestions about that. Highland cattle, sheep. Cattle dogs, border collies, castles. I can't remember what else.
Great. You guys have given me a lot of inspiration. Thank you for that.
You just haven't had a chance to even get in.
Someday.
Do any painting.
Someday.
No clothespins. Sorry guys, we haven't been able to add clothespins to y'all's orders because we just haven't had. Peter hasn't had time, and you really don't want to see my artistic ability when it comes to painting.
Oh.
I might could do a stick figure.
Well, this mine's not far from that.
No, well, your snowmen, they have lots of character. Yeah. Okay, let's see. What else do we want? We've got a lot to share.
Let's go ahead and just roll up our sleeves and get to it then.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. My sleeves are already rolled up.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay.
Do you want to talk about your painting first?
We start out with that first? Okay.
That'd be great.
Well, the painting that I have here, I don't even know what really inspired this. It's just I had a whole bunch of color, and I hope this shows up okay on the screen there. But my little, like a little water scene with the reflection coming down, lights from either the sunrise or sunset. I don't know which one it is. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. But anyway, I was just having fun just throwing some colors around on this little canvas here, and I think that's all I'm going to do with this.
I love the color. We've got this sitting on our mantle, and it just adds a real nice splash of color right there.
Yeah. And I like this new colors that I am using here lately because the acrylics, in times past, my acrylics I've used before were kind of dull and fading and stuff like this. This new one here is, it's almost, as a matter of fact, looked almost like oil with the richness, oil, and the long-lasting strength of oil there. It's a really nice acrylic.
Is this Artesia?
This is Artesia paints. Yeah, Artesia.
I got you that for Christmas.
I don't know if I'm supposed to say that, but anyway, yeah.
Oh, I think it's fine. Yeah, we're not sponsoring or anything. We're just.
That's right.
If you're a painter, you might like to try that. Yeah.
Yeah, Artesia. Yeah. And of course, I did all my canvases. I do gesso on them pretty thick there too, so they get a good. I try to get out a lot of the grain from the canvas, but it still comes through. That's okay, all right. It adds
it's a canvas.
Little more texture.
Yeah.
But it's just fun putting colors together. And
we got up this morning early. Both of us woke up early, and it was still dark, and we were sitting and drinking our coffee, and we looked out the doors to our back, and the sun comes up right there.
Eastern sky.
Oh, it was so beautiful.
It was almost like that.
It was almost like that.
It wasn't quite as dull as that, but it had some more purples and lavenders and stuff. Oh, it was a gorgeous morning out.
It was a beautiful morning. Yeah.
Yep. So anyway, so that's my little painting that I wanted to show you for that.
I love that. And my quilt, and I don't know what y'all were seeing, so it's kind of hard to know. This is a quilt that I made from this book, Easy Pieces by Margaret Miller. And I took a class with her at Peace College. I think it was in 2013, and it was a 3-day class. It was wonderful. Oh goodness, we had so much fun. But anyway, I knew that I was inspired. Let me show you first where I got the inspiration. See if you can see this from this one right down here. You can see that? So it's a cross. So I wanted to see if I could, mimic that somehow. And so when I got in the class, I showed Margaret, and she said, okay, well, what you need to do all A blocks. I said, okay. So I started off cutting. And like any class that I have ever taken, I'm not one of these speed quilters. I'm just not. I like to take my time and enjoy it. And just no speedy. I don't do speedy anymore. I don't know if I've ever done speedy, but anyway, so I got several of the blocks made. There's 2 different kinds of blocks. Just if you're interested, there's an A and a B block. You can see the difference there. Can you see that? Yeah. The A and the B block, and she had told me, oh, you need I think it was A blocks is what she said. It was either A or B. I can't remember. That goes back, gosh, that's 10 years ago. Wow. So anyway, that's where I was headed. And then I got home and I started piecing some more and studying this pattern again. And I ended up, I lost it. I ended up counting the blocks that I could see. And it showed here that and looking at the blocks that were in this, that I actually needed 32 B blocks and 28 A. I had cut a good many of the blocks. But anyway, I said, well, I'm just going to use what I have already made, what I've already cut, and then try to piece some more just to accent. And that's what I did. So I ended up making it similar to this, but different, because I just made it my own. So you can see the cross in the center, and I wanted to incorporate yellow in it because I wanted to show the light of Christ. The name of this is Christ is Risen, and I wanted the cross just to glow, so the light would just come out and just envelop it, just be coming out from all places. Just
reminds me of a stained glass window.
Like a stained glass window. That's kind of what I was going for. But you can see the different kinds of blocks. Here and here, these are the shorter ones. So anyway, and then I wanted to have purple and yellow in it and gold because that's royalty. And so that's what I decided to do for this inner, I forget what they call this, but it's just an accent. And then the border, I didn't even really do a border. I just did the binding in deep purple, the same purple that's here. And I knew how I wanted it quilted, but I wasn't comfortable in doing it myself. I was making this for my church, and I wanted it just to be really special. So I went to Donna Sontag. She's a quilter, long arm quilter here in Wake Forest, and told her what I wanted, and I wanted it double banded, and I wanted the rays just coming out from all, sides, and then something different, special in the cross, just to accent that. And she did exactly what I wanted. I couldn't be more pleased with it. Matter of fact, she was very happy with it. And she belongs to the Capital Quilters Guild here in Raleigh. And they were doing a quilt show. And she texted me and she said, Kathy, can I put your quilt in the quilt show? I said, oh yeah, that would be great. I'm not a member of that, but she is. So she put it in there and it received an honorable mention. So that was very exciting for me. So anyway, this hangs in our living room. We did give it to our church that we were members of at the time. And then we left the church. The quilt remained there, but then they ended up giving up the building and disbanding. So they contacted me and said, would you like to have your quilt back? And I said, sure, yeah. If you don't want it, then sure, I'd love to have it back. So it's hanging in our living room. So anyway, that's Easy Pieces Block, if you're interested, by Margaret Miller. Matter of fact, she signed the book for me. I got her signature.
That's nice. Yep, it's a good book.
Oh, that was a great class I took.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Super duper.
So that's our spotlight quilts and spotlight painting. So now we're going to look at some previous finishes.
Previous finishes.
Yeah, so you've got a previous finish, don't you?
I do,
yeah.
I do. I have a piece of burl here that I don't know what kind of wood it came out of, whatever like that, but I made a bowl out of it.
I love that.
And the unique thing about this was it was, talk about rough edge. I don't know how many times I nicked my fingers there while this thing was spinning around on the lathe. But the unique thing about this type of thing is that, burl comes from any kind of a tree where sometimes you may see a tree that has like a bulb on the side. They say it's a disease or something like that. And the unique thing about this is that the grain that goes through there, instead of like the straight type of grain or wavy type grain, they're all kind of gnarled together. And that sounds like it comes out of something out of a Harry Potter movie or something like that. And when you cut in them, it really makes all these nice grains and whatnot. This is actually quite old, as you can see. This is when I used to sign my stuff there. And it needs actually probably, I don't even know what I used to finish this thing, because there's nothing that I could really rub into it. But
does it have a date on it?
No, there's no date. Yeah, see, I didn't even date it. But anyway, this is kind of just an old gnarly piece that hangs around on the shelf there, and it'll hold coins or whatever, or some things there.
It'll hold some.
There you go.
Some silks.
There you go. Perfect. See, Kathy has a use for everything. Everything I make, she's so great to figure out something to use for her there.
I want to be able to show them that silk. So there we go.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I love that burl, and I've heard it's actually like a cancer.
It is. Yeah, it's a disease in the tree there, and but they make for some really beautiful grain, and I like incorporating the rough edge of a piece like that. I don't know how you turn that without it just breaking, falling apart. Yeah, I had it screwed onto a faceplate flat on the bottom, and it was on there pretty solid. It's a very hard piece of wood, so it wasn't a problem with breaking. The problem was worried about breaking my fingers more than anything else there.
Does it almost get petrified when it's a burl?
No. Petrification, that takes many years.
Many years.
Yeah, yeah. So. Anyway, so that's a previous finish.
I think it's interesting. Yeah, very interesting.
You're going to show these. I'll just set these right here, and you can show your...
Yeah, I'll show that. That's in haul.
It's in your haul. Okay, so we'll wait till we haul it.
We've got a bunch of haul, guys.
Yeah, we do.
I'm not real good at doing the dough bowls, but this is my attempt.
That's a nice display, I think.
And this is Peter's bowl also, so that's a previous finish.
It is, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So this is some of our Easter stitching. Haven't done a whole lot, but this is spring. This is Easter or spring, and this one is heavy. It is so heavy.
Yeah, don't hit me with that.
And it's got lizard litter and cedar shavings. Yeah. And what this is Spring Has Sprung.
Yeah, I'll hold that for you.
Okay. Spring Has Sprung by Paulette Stewart, Plum Street Samplers. I love this. I love big birds. Oh, I just love big birds. And it called for all kinds of overdyes and some DMC. But I did have some of the DMC, but I just converted it, used the DMC. Or if I didn't have the DMC, then I just used what I had, what I could find. I even had some anchor, that I pulled in. And I stitched this on, I don't know what I stitched it on.
She stitched it on something.
This was before I started putting it in my book. Oh, no, wait. Okay. 32 count Week Style Works parchment. Yep. I did this in 21. Started March 21st and finished it on the 18th of June.
It's nice to put those shavings in it from the Eastern Red Cedar they cut, because that's the most aromatic. By the way, I've got a bunch more that's out there as well.
I know.
I try to save my shavings.
I've got 2 boxes of it upstairs, and I've got a lot of finishing I need to do. So anyway, that's my finish. And it's not stuffed perfectly, but hey, it's done. I love the snowman. I love his expression.
Yeah.
Because he's melting away. As the spring is coming in, he's melting away. He's like, oh no, I'm going away. You hear that lizard litter in there?
Yeah.
And on the back, I just did, I cut a piece of the same fabric and just kind of roughed up the edges, and glued it on. Real fancy. And this is a piece of silk soiree that, what is her name? Sweet lady gave to me. So I use that. I can't remember her name. It'll come to me tonight. I'll put her name in here if I can remember it. I'll remember it. She's a floss tuber. Cynthia. Oh, okay. I don't mean to be harebrained.
We did say we were going to make this video shorter.
I'm going to try. Okay, now this one was Jelly Bean Jubilee, and I don't have when I started it or anything, but I'm pretty sure it was last year. This is the one that's the Easter Jelly Bean Jubilee. I know a lot of you guys have stitched this or are doing it. And I would like to do all of these, but I hadn't had a chance but to do 2 of them. But here's Easter. And I used the called fors, called for floss, called for fabric, and I just hand stitched the bric rack on. And this is just polyfill. This one is just polyfill. I love that little girl, little rabbit girl. I think she's so cute. And I used, this one I did stuff from the bottom and then stitched it up. So that's why it's a little loosey-goosey. And then I used some bunny fabric for the backing, which I think this is a 1930s reproduction print with the bunnies. I've got yellow, pink, and green, I think. Now this one is a little different. I took 2 of them. This is the actual one for the Easter parade. Let me show you the picture. Okay, it's this little girl here. Okay, and it's also, okay, instead of doing it like this, where the 2 chicks and then he was pulling the carrots, I wanted her to have a cart too. So she has the cart with her jelly beans in it, or eggs. I'm not sure if it's jelly beans or eggs. And he's pulling the one with the carrots.
Yeah.
Isn't that cute?
That is cute. Yeah.
Now this one has lizard litter in it. So it's heavier. The thing about lizard litter, it seems like it collects. If you have it sitting like that, it all goes to the bottom. It's got polyfill and lizard litter. And I did the rick rack around that.
Got some cute little owls on the back.
And I did just a piece of, and that's not really a good way to do it, but it's on there because it's glued. I used some ribbon with some little owls. I thought they were cute and kind of same colors. I just love these little guys and girls. I think they're darling.
Lovely little display.
Yeah, I want to do them all. The little guy that's standing on an Easter egg. He's painting the Easter egg. This one, I want to do him too. I think I've got enough fabric to do one more of the Brenda's brew. That's what this is stitched on, Brenda's brew.
Very good.
And I just found these carrots at Hobby Lobby. And I thought they would be cute in there because everybody's got carrots. She's got a carrot balloon. And he's got carrots in his cart.
Rabbits like carrots.
Rabbits like carrots.
Bugs Bunny can't be wrong.
No. So that's our previous finishes.
Yeah. Good. Very nice. Very nice. Nice display. I like how you used that dough bowl there like that.
That's a nice dough bowl.
Well, thank you.
It's a big one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll put this somewhere.
Want to put this over here?
Okay. That'd be great.
There we go.
So now we're going to do FFOs.
FFO.
Which is fully finished
Fully
objects.
finished. Yes. Okay. Fully finished. A friend of mine, I think we mentioned this, maybe I mentioned this the last FlossTube, that some guy was giving me, our friends of ours were giving me a big chunk of wood they had laying around outside at their workshop.
Yeah.
And he thought it was just an old piece of oak, something like that. So when I got to looking at it, I thought, well, this thing looks a little bit different in there. And I noticed that it turned out to be a piece of mahogany, about 4 inches thick,
mahogany,
10 inches wide.
Yeah.
And he was so gracious enough that even though he found out it was a very expensive, valuable wood, he still gave it to me anyway.
Yeah,
so
very
I
nice people.
Return the favor by making them a nice bowl out of this mahogany.
Yeah.
And so this is what came
Sharon
out.
and Ken, if you're watching, Sharon,
Yeah,
hey!
Sharon and Ken. Finally going to get to give it to you because Kathy wouldn't let me give it to you until we did this FlossTube, and I didn't know we were ever going to get to do this thing. So anyway, we're going to see you all tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to see you tomorrow.
But this is the bowl. This is the bottom of it here, and it's finished in teak oil, which takes a while to cure, but it's a good hard finish and really shows the grain of the. Matter of fact, I still need a little more touch up there. Shows the grain of the mahogany. Mahogany is such a beautiful wood. Wood smells great when you're cutting it and working with it.
Rich looking.
So I've been laying around the shop. I can see as I turn this now. You always see a few little final details. It's always in the details there.
Always in the details.
I got to get a little more touch up done here or there, but otherwise, this is just a nice finish, a nice, beautiful bowl for some wonderful friends of ours who were so kind to give us this wood. And
they can put this on their table and put whatever they want to in it.
Absolutely. Anything you want to in there, it's safe. It's been, the oil is dried out enough for several weeks. It's cured. So it's safe.
Layer after layer.
I wouldn't eat soup out of it, though.
No. Or salad. No. Nothing
you
wet.
Put apples, candy, whatever in there. Anyhow.
Yeah.
So
it's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
You did a wonderful job.
So that's my previous FFO.
Okay. Well, you want to trade off? I'll do one. You do one.
Yeah, that's okay. You're next.
Okay. Let's see. Let me reach. Excuse me, guys. I hope that doesn't flop over. And
let me hold your water over here, away from the danger zone.
I'll probably put it right there.
That'll work.
Okay, I was able to. This is a new start and a finish and an FFO. I wanted to work on the Heart and Hand Blooming Tiny Town, which I love this. I'm going to do them all. This is the third one I've done. And I wanted to try something different on this because the two that I've done before I did on 36 count. So I thought, well, just for kicks and grins, I'm going to try a 32 count. So I tried a 32 count. And this is Avocado Light by Seraphim. It's really a pretty fabric.
Nice fabric, yeah.
Pretty fabric.
Green's Kathy's favorite color.
Green's my favorite color. I love all kinds of greens. But I thought for springtime, blossoms, everything coming to life.
Pollen,
which we've got everywhere.
Our back porch is yellow now.
Ooh,
amazing that.
And I am so allergic. To it. Oh, but anyway, I started this on March the 8th and finished it. Oh, I've got start and finished on the same day. I don't think that's right.
You were so fast. You would not believe. Smoke was pouring out of that needle.
I think I put something down wrong.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, anyway.
It's finished, that's for sure.
It's finished. And let me show it to you.
There you go. This is nice.
And this is 32 count, so I was curious if it would fit on one of Peter's spools, and it did.
Yeah.
It's snug. I mean, it's really, really snug.
Snug as a bug in a rug
Snug
there.
as a bug in a rug. I was wanting to do the Elizabeth Ann finish, like she did with the buttons and the little pieces of elastic, you know, to tie it off so it would come off easily. But there was not enough room. Matter of fact, to get it to fit, instead of using the SF101 Pellon fusible interface, I had to use a fusible fleece to give it a little bit more oomph and make it a little bit bigger, so I could stitch it together. And this is going to be one that's not going to come off. I mean, we'll just leave that on there. And I just did a little lacing, kind of like a shoelace or something.
Yeah, it looks great like that. It looks great, nice and tight and secure. Yeah. That blue house, that's my favorite one in there. I
love the blue house.
And the little buttons on you have on there as well too. That's
my favorite too. I love this blue bird. Yeah. Isn't he cute? This is just, her designs are so wonderful. Little French knots for the flowers, which don't look too close at my French knots. I'm not real good at those. I love the little buttons, and then there's little lazy daisy stitches for the flowers. I just think this is really cute. And I had to order some new colorful scissors to go in it. I got these two from Fat Quarter Shop. Aren't they cute? Polka dot pink and white and polka dot green and white. I got this from, look how cute, Hollis Hands Creates. I'm pretty sure that came from Hollis Hands, this one. So that's part of my haul.
My wife is a scissor junkie.
I love, I used to think, scissors, who would want to collect scissors? But oh my gosh. Speaking of scissors, I'm getting ready for the 4th of July one.
You betcha.
And I've got 2 reds, 3 reds that'll go with this. And I might need to get like a navy blue or something, or a white. Maybe I could probably use this one.
Yeah, well that's not really patriotic colors here though.
No, white or blue. Is.
That definitely is.
That definitely is with the stars and stripes.
Yep.
So anyway, that's one FFO, and this is all instigated and encouraged and everything from Jen Quilter on Instagram, and FlossTube 2 Tall Stitchers, and Michelle with Penny's Daughter Shares. They started a challenge at the first of the year, which I was on board as soon as I heard it, because that's what I was wanting to do too, was to get some finishing done. It's hashtag FFO Challenge 2023, and we'll put the hashtag here so you can go and look. And if you haven't joined already, go and look and get inspired to join and get some FFOing done. It's so much fun to do it together. I heard, was it Jen? It was either Jen or Michelle on their FlossTube, just their most recent FlossTube, that they had over 500 posts.
Wow, that's fantastic. That is really fantastic. 500
posts. So people are really, like I said, getting on board and loving to finish. And what's fun about it is you think, oh, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do it. I've never done it before. Can I do it? And you get challenged, and your creative juices kind of start flowing a little bit. Yep. And you just jump in and do it. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, you can make it work. You know, it's just the fun is trying. Yeah.
You do, and you jump in both feet.
Yeah. So that's my first FFO.
Okay. So what do we got next here? I got another FFO here. I got a couple.
I have 2 more. So you show yours, and,
okay,
or whatever. We can swap back and forth.
Oh yeah, we were making some of the Becca spools that we've shown in the past there and whatnot. And as I was going through my shop, I noticed I had several pieces left over, because when I cut the Becca spools there, they don't line up equally with the way we buy wood.
Yeah.
I end up with leftovers basically. So, and I never throw leftovers away, and she doesn't throw leftovers away. They always use for something. So I had a bunch of walnut leftovers, and I thought, well, let me just try to laminate some together to make something that would look really, really nice. And well, this is what I've got here. I hope this shows up good in the can. We'll find out when we do this thing. It's a regular Becca spool made to specifications
for Charlotte Hatch.
For
1838 for sampler.
Charlotte Hatch, yeah. And but what I did was these were like several little pieces that I just glued all together.
I love it.
And then shaved it down and shaped it up. And they really, you can see the different character in all the different pieces there. And so I think it turned out pretty nice there for a little.
I don't think that's too pretty to cover up. Some of this was just too pretty to cover up.
Walnut, and especially nowadays with walnut, we're having problems getting walnut because of the blight that I didn't even know about. But wow, we went to try to get walnut in sizes to do even tiny town and that like things. The only thing we can find is wood that's green, and what that means is it's wet. And when you try to work with wet wood, it cuts real easy, but the problem is it takes forever to dry out and it warps. So you gotta dry it. So we try to buy kiln dried. That way, when I get it's already dried, I can go. I did have some walnut that I tried to cut previously, and that's what this piece here I'm going to show you is that it was green, and I tried to dry it like I've done before. I throw it in the microwave for a short blast and several blasts to dry the wood out. And it dried it out okay, but what happened was in the wood, and I'll just show you the bottom of this. You won't be able to see anything because they're gone now, but it leaves cracks along in the wood there, which
don't want that.
Dries it out. So this particular piece, this is a Becca spool. Again, another piece of walnut, but it's a solid piece, and it had so many cracks in there that I had to cut past them, and then to add back to what I had cut away, I decided to add a nice little piece of, you know what, I don't even know sure what kind this wood is. I thought it was cherry, or it's not mahogany, or I don't know what, some piece of scrap wood that I had out there. No. I'm wondering if it's maybe teak. There may be a piece of teak.
It's not maple. It's definitely not maple.
No, I think it might be teak. We got from the store, from the furniture store. Yeah. I get their leftovers sometimes, throwaways. They burn that stuff for the shop we go to. They just burn this stuff over the winter, which is not a big deal for North Carolina. We don't have much winter. In fact, we didn't even have winter this year. Old man Winter didn't even bother to come say hi to us at all this year. Yeah. So anyway, that's another story. Another reason to move to Alaska. Anyway, so I just, the bottom was okay. I refinished the bottom, looked good. And then I thought, well, I'm going to put a little accent on the top, so it's going to make this piece look different than the other Becca spools. So we're going to put these in our shop, and you'll be able to see them there. But these are, again, just a couple little previous finishes there.
Previous finishes.
Yeah. So you got your two to show?
Well, one I don't have.
Kind of hard to show that.
Yeah. It was piece, the Little Sheep Virtues from Little House Needleworks, and I had finished it, and we were going to visit a new friend, and I wanted to take her something special, so I finished that.
Yes.
I meant to show this in our last FlossTube, and I didn't do it, so I finished that. I framed it, had this frame that I had picked up two of that had these really cool looking pictures in it. But anyway, I thought that would work because, it just looked like the color was right. It had this little border around it and everything. So anyway, we're going to put a picture of that right here. Yeah. And
it's a beautiful piece.
Little Sheep Virtues. Yeah. So that was an FFO that I didn't share last
Very
time.
Very nice one too. Yeah. It was very nice.
And then I do have one more. And this is Mini Bouquet Sampler. It was a stitch along last year that Jeanette Douglas did, and it was free. It was a mystery, so you didn't know. Well, no, it wasn't a mystery. I'm telling you wrong. It wasn't a mystery. I like to make up things. Anyway, yeah, we knew what it was. But she would send us the chart once a month, or at the beginning of the month, and we would stitch it. So I was able to get that done, and I stitched it on R&R Stars Hollow 36 count. With the DMC conversion. I'm gonna have to reach right here. Sorry for the noise, guys. I I did something a little bit different. The chart calls for just a white or a cream. I don't know if you can see that. I hope it's not too shiny or anything. There was a white or cream border that went all the way around. And I had done part of that, I think around the top and 2 sides. And I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I took that out.
Well, it didn't show up good.
It didn't show up good, but it's, a lot of people don't mind that, but I wanted something that would show up. So anyway, I kept thinking, what in the world could I do? And I found this frame at Goodwill for like $3. And I had pulled out some of my frames and I thought this would work, but it was a little bit, and still is, just a little bit taller here and here than on the sides. So I thought, well, maybe if I could just do a band and have it kind of mimic the bands that were in the center. Of course, this wasn't charted, and I didn't chart it, but I did just kind of follow what she had done here on the top and the bottom. I used a different green, for the kind of the bones of it. And then I took the first 6 and I just pulled the colors out and said, let me see if I can mimic some of the flowers that are in there with their colors. And then that was on the top, and on the bottom I did the same thing with this group of 6. I just tried to bring those colors down. So that's my FFO mini bouquet sampler by Jeanette Douglas. She's a lovely designer and very generous person.
I love how the borders you add there just look like they just pull out the colors from all that are on here, and it really makes a wonderful display. I think you did a beautiful job making that there.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't want to just copy these, even though these are 2-color, but I wanted those colors to be drawn down and up.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, it's different, but it all ties together. That's really did a beautiful job on that.
There's so many colors in this. It's all DMC. I love DMC. I think it's... Anyway, Peter hung this for me the other day, and it's hanging in our living room on our sampler wall that is coming along.
That's right.
It's got 4. This is the 4th piece to go on there.
I love it.
It really kind of makes me wish that I had not stopped stitching. When I stopped in the 80s, mid 80s, late 80s, whatever it was.
The road not taken.
I know, because I look at
back.
Brenda and Carol Saltbox Stitcher and all these people that have been stitching for years, and they have all these beautiful pieces. I mean, their house is just filled, and there's no telling how many have gone out to friends and family.
Yeah.
But anyway, like you said, we just
go forward from where you are.
Go forward from where. So that's what we'll do.
That's right. So
yeah. So that's my FFOs.
Oh, okay.
You have some more.
I did. These are final 2. I think I showed you last time there. I had a couple of skeps I was working on, and one of them had a walnut top. It had a big old chunk that just flew out of there while I was working on it. So what I did was I recovered that piece of junk. It flew across the shop, but I tracked it down, found it, and plastered it with the epoxy and stuck it in a hole again and began to turn it again. And this is what came out.
You never know it.
If you look at the very top here, in fact, right there, right now, you see a little dark spot. If that shows up, hopefully it does.
Hopefully it does, yeah.
But you would never ever be able to tell that had a piece that was laminated back in there. And
it's solid as a rock.
It's solid as a rock. Yeah, it's not going away. And so my little accent piece here. Again, these are spare parts, for lack of a better term. There, I had some maple and some walnut, and I thought I'm gonna make a Bee Skep. And notice this one does not have a hole in it. There's no place for the poor little bees to get in there and make their home.
So are you going to do a hole?
So,
is it too late to do a hole?
No, I can do a hole. I don't know.
You have to do it where this is, though, because that's the most interesting.
Okay. All right. Well, I could do that. Sure. But anyway, or maybe I'll just leave it like that. I don't know. You tell me what you think there. We're going to put this in the shop, and I can put a hole in it, or we can leave it like that as well, too.
And this is striped maple and walnut.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. This is what they call it. Actually, they call it select maple. Yeah. But so anyway, that was fun making that, gluing out all the pieces together and then throwing it on the lathe, spinning it and see what comes out. That came out pretty nice. And as well did this one. I had a piece of cherry and maple. Yeah. And this is what came out of this. A nice little piece of cherry that I had with nice grain and whatnot. And on the top there, I went ahead and put a piece of maple.
I love that.
I like this maple because it's got that little accent on it, like a little vein going through there, which, again, wood is so curious and so really unique with their different type of the way the grain runs and stuff like that and whatnot. So again, I'm gonna put this in the shop, and again, I did not put a bee hole in this one, but that's easy to do. I can fix that real quick. So but anyway, those are my final 2 FFOs that I kind of do this in between making all these monotonous, I shouldn't say monotonous.
Hundreds.
All these spools that I'm making here, which are good. I'm glad to do it.
We're grateful.
Very grateful for it.
Yeah,
but I got to do something to kind of keep my interest.
Yeah, it's wanes.
And I need it. So plus the other one's calling me, say do something with me. So I have to do something.
I know that's hard, and I go upstairs to my craft room, and it's like, I want to do that. And I don't. Sometimes I just don't know
where to start.
Yeah, I don't know where to start. So, well, anyway, so that's our FFOs.
Yes.
Yeah. So I do have one FO.
Oh.
Which this is kind of a lot of people might not understand why I did this, but okay, that's not working, is it?
That's right. Just let it lay.
Okay. Little sheep virtue.
Bang the table, the camera goes warm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Little sheep virtues. I decided to go ahead and do peace again because I had patience. And I wanted to go ahead and do peace. And I have bought the button packs that go with these. So this is going to be part of my FFO challenge 2023. But I do have more that I want to stitch. I think I've got 3 or 4 more. I don't know that I'm going to do them all. But I wanted this particular one on this color fabric. So I think he turned out really cute.
That's a pretty color green. Yeah,
and I did do something a little bit different. I filled in the heart because on this fabric you couldn't see the heart. It was supposed to just be open, what do they call that, like a relief or whatever. But I went ahead and filled in the heart. So anyway, that's my little sheep virtues.
Very nice.
Piece.
Very nice.
I did change the color of the piece. It was supposed to be in this brown, but I wanted the blue. So.
And you're going to make itsy bitsy pillows out of them? Is that what
make some itsy bitsy pillows. Well, I'm going to put the little buttons on that I got. Cute little buttons.
I'll make a nice bowl to display all these little things. How about that?
Yeah. Well, we've got a couple of dough bowls, and but yeah.
Dough bowls, I got way too big for those.
Well, if I get all 7 of them made or whatever, then that'll make a nice display.
It would, yeah.
Yeah, that'll make a nice display. So that's my FO.
Very good.
Yeah.
Okey-doke.
So now we're into whips.
Whips. Okay, I got some whips. You want to show a whip first, or you want me to
Well, no, you want to show a whip, and I'll show a whip.
Okay.
Because I have, how many whips? 1, 2, 3.
Sounds good. Okay, I got 3 or 4. I got 4.
Well, hey, that works out pretty good.
All right. Well, this first one here, a friend of ours gave us an old apple tree that they had cut down in the yard. This was like about 6 months ago. And so I put it in tried to cure it best I could and threw it in the shed, my wood shed out there, and which apparently has more moisture than I thought it had there because the wood kind of spalted on me more than I wanted it to. Oh. However, the spalting has turned out pretty good there. Yeah. This is a piece of an apple tree, and I've been working on this now for, I guess, probably about a month. I just shaped the outside. It's going to be a small vase. I'm going to give that to my friends who gave us this apple wood. And I use teak oil in this well too, because that really seems to work well with the grain. But anyway, and you can see the spalting and all those black lines in that, which would normally be the grain of the wood, have turned black because of the spalting, which is actually the fungus. And so when I do get this back on the lathe, I'm going to carve out the inside and finish it on the inside as well as the outside. And that'll be a nice little vase that I'll give them as a reminder of their apple tree, which they complain because they never did get any apples off this tree.
So now they'll have fruit of there.
But the reason that they didn't is because they never did any grafting on it. You see, with apple trees, there's rather work intensive. You want apples, you got to graft it in with other branches, other apple trees, or even doesn't have to be. It could be a pear tree branch. Doesn't matter. When you graft it in, that's what causes it to happen.
Really?
As well as other trees like pecan. If you have a pecan tree, if you don't graft on that, you're not going to get pecans.
Oh.
It's an amazing, different thing. So anyway, they got tired of it. They cut it down, and they gave it to me. And this will be a reminder of their little tree they had out there. So
you have more of that wood.
I do. I actually have the root bowl of that, which is going to make a really nice bowl.
I saw that out there.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. That's going to be
spalted and whatnot. But I just took this piece because I thought it'd be quicker to make, and then ran into a lot of work here lately. So it's been sitting on my shelf, kind of dusty. But anyway,
are you using teak oil?
Teak oil. I'm using. I've got so far about 3 coats of teak oil on here, and I can see places now where it still needs more as well. So it just soaks it up. Yeah, it kind of builds out. You build it up in light layers so that the final finish product is a nice hard finish that'll buff out and polish very nicely. Okay. Yeah, so nice. But only oils can do like that. So that's an apple tree. You never know it, but that's what it is.
Okay, well, I'm going to do my whip go first. Okay. Whip dough this month was number 2, which for me was the Fox, and number 22, which was Roxy. Number 22 I picked up, and Roxy is a beautiful sampler by Jean Farish. It was a stitch along 2020, I believe, but it's all learning specialty stitches. And I've got to sit and watch the video, and maybe watch it videos. Every lesson had a video, and I think there's 6 total. So I've got to sit and watch it first, and then sit and watch it with my stitching and try the stitches. So it's kind of, time intensive. So I only picked it up and did a little bit of the regular cross stitch. That's one of the stems. So I'm not even counting that towards my whip go yet. So I haven't made that goal. But number 2 was the Fox, which I know a lot of you guys have seen this. I love the Fox. Love the Fox. Yeah. So sassy or something. I don't know. This is being stitched on 36 count Mirage by Picture This Plus with all the called for. And that's my stitch so far.
Pretty.
So I got a good bit done in 5 days. Let's see, I had his chest, and I think I had maybe a little bit of outline here. I had his face, but I had filled in his chest and got all this done, and his haunches and his feet. So, yeah, it was hard to put down. I really didn't want to put it down. But maybe, I can pick it back up. Everything I do, it's, I love doing it, so it's, you just want to keep going on it. But isn't this fabric pretty? I just think fabric is gorgeous.
Beautiful fabric, yeah.
That's my first time using that Mirage. It's pretty dark.
Yeah, that really looks nice against the fur of the Fox there.
Yeah, I think so. And his tail, oh my goodness, that's what I started working on. So that's next. That's what I'll be doing next. And that's a big tail, a big honking tail. I get that done and I'm pretty much done.
Mr. Bushy.
Because the trees are going to be a breeze. Yeah.
Trees are a breeze.
Trees are going to be a breeze.
You were a poet, didn't you?
Oh, no. So that's one of my whips.
Okay, very good. All right, whips. As I was working on these spools for the tiny town ones there, I had some other wood out there I thought I'd give a try as well too. And one was a nice piece of oak. Oh. And this became quite an experiment because it cuts very nice. This is a piece of oak that I had out in my shed.
That's a pretty piece.
Very beautiful piece. And I thought I'd try something different with the finish on this. It's really, really nice and smooth in that. But it's a little bit of different finish because I've been working or studying some different types of finishes there. And I thought I would try to make my own. And what I did was I took some of the some oil that I had. I think it's boiled linseed oil, and I have some ground down pumice stone that a friend of mine gave me several years ago. And I saw on TV how they, or YouTube, I guess, that somebody making their own type of pasting or sanding paste and stuff like that. And I thought, I wonder how it would look if I used oil with that stone, because the stone is really, really fine and works in some projects that I saw sanding down wood, just bring it to a beautiful shine, as well as adding the oil. So that's what I did with this. And this is actually, I guess probably about 3 weeks ago I did that. And it really sanded down nice, and it's got a good, it could probably use any kind, I could put any kind of finish on top of it as well, or I could leave it like that. But I thought I'd
That's so natural.
It is so natural.
Yeah,
it feels,
I think I would just leave it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because it's a natural finish. It is sealed. It's very, very good finish. And but I generally don't do it with my other production spools I've been making, because I got to kick them out the door so fast. Yeah. When you work with oils, you got to wait a minimum of a week or two before they're really dried enough to cure. In fact, I have to wait 3 to 5 days in between coats of doing regular oils and that. Would not work, yeah. So this is kind of an experiment, and when I get this done, we'll have this in the shop as well too. The oil will be well cured. Nice thing about oil, when it cures, it's hard. It won't affect your scissors or if or whatever type of project you have around a cross stitch and whatnot. So. A nice piece of oak.
It's very heavy.
It's heavy. This is gonna, the U.S. Postal Service is gonna enjoy us paying.
And for postage.
Postage is gonna be, oh my word.
Oh my goodness.
And but to contrast the weight in that, we have a piece. This, you know what this is? I want to see if you recognize it. You remember that tree we had out in the backyard?
Oh, this is the yellow.
Goldenrod.
Goldenrod. Oh yes, I can see it now.
Yep, goldenrod.
It's so light.
So light. And this was not actually one piece. This was a piece that had split open on me. So I cut the wood in half and milled it down and glued it back together. Oh. So now that will never come apart, and there was no more cracks in it, or that'll be effective.
I could never see that it was glued together.
It was glued together. You can see it on the bottom.
See
it on the bottom there now. And this is extremely rough. And then I just kind of rough shaped it. I didn't even sand this yet. But this is the goldenrod. This is not the exact size for a tiny tune.
Tiny tune.
Tiny tune.
Tiny tune.
you know what entertains me. Anyway, so it's a little bit different size, but when this gets finished up, this will be in our shop as well too, and it's very light.
Very light.
This will not cost much at all to ship.
That's great.
Which is a nice thing there.
Nice thing for us. We pay for all our
shipping. We do. And I've had some Western red cedar. I'll just show you this real quick. There's really not much to look at this. This is a piece I had cut down from a piece of Western red cedar, which is...
It does have a smell.
It does have a lovely smell, but it's not like the Eastern red cedars. Yeah. And it's not like the Spanish cedars are the best.
Excuse me.
Anyway, this is an extremly light wood, and it's pretty, very, very rough. I have to use a very sharp tool to cut this to get it smooth enough. It's going to be, I'm going to make a small spool out of this as well.
It does finish up nice though. Really
finishes up just absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. They use a lot of this for Western red cedar for inside decor, like banisters, rails, or finishing rooms, and even like over the fireplaces, those type mantles and stuff like that. Because of the aromatic of it, they're filling the house. It's kind of a Western motif kind of going on there. But it's just another wood as far as I'm concerned. It's got beautiful grain on it, which grain will really come out when I get it finished up and cut and like that too. But again, it's a nice light wood. Yeah. Durable.
It does have a pretty grain though.
And as with all the woods we send out, I mean, it'll last. Are you going to do it like the tiny tune
that just won't be the same size?
It won't be. Well, yeah, because this is too small for. And it wasn't when I cut it down. It wouldn't be, the circumference wouldn't be right size for the tiny town. So. But anyway, so that's going to be a future spool. Maybe I'll show that next time.
You should see the table. There's sawdust all over the table.
I wonder where that came from.
Yeah.
Occupational hazard there.
Okay, my second whip. This was not a whip go. This was just, I wanted to work on, I actually wanted to have this finished by Easter. But I don't think that's going to happen because it's pretty intense stitching, even though it's not a huge piece. It's tetelestai, which is Greek for "it is finished," by Quaint Rose Needle Art. Beautiful, beautiful chart. Just gorgeous. Red sampler. I mean, how can you go wrong? I'm stitching this on 36 count prairie grass.
Beautiful piece, beautiful.
By Seraphim. I love Seraphim's fabric. They're just,
let me hold the board for you.
Gorgeous. I'm good. I'm just gonna sit on here, see if I can. So I did make some headway, and I might pick this back up Sunday and start stitching on it again. So here's how far I've gotten. I'm using NPI Silk number 504 Chinese Red. Beautiful red. And I started this on Good Friday of last year. So what I actually was able to get done, I had the border, both borders done around. So I was able to get the cross, and I was able to get this flurry of flowers and vines and leaves. So what I hope to do is get the other side, which is it's not mirror image in the chart. It's similar, but it's not mirror image. So if I could get that other side done, that's pretty intense stitching because it's kind of all over the place. All over the place, yeah.
But that's what makes it so unique and interesting to look at.
But I want to get down to the bottom and get I'm going to get all the floral stuff done first. Oh, yeah. And then I want to do the tetelestai, and it is finished.
Looks nice.
I can't wait till we get this framed and up on our wall.
I'll have to make a really special, nice frame for that.
Yeah. I might have one upstairs. Every time we go out, if we can, we'll stop at Goodwill and see what they've got. Or when we run into Michael's, we always look at the Oops frames that are, no matter what size. I know we've told y'all this before, they're $8 no matter what size. You can get a great big frame.
And then you can cut it down to size.
And make several frames. Yeah. So anyway, I love this fabric, prairie grass, and I just love this stitch. I think it's beautiful.
Beautiful cross.
Yeah. Kim, the Contented Needle Worker, I think that's her new name on Instagram. She's the one that I saw working on this, and I wanted to join in. And I think that there is a hashtag for it, so I can't remember what it is right off the top of my head.
You can look it up. We'll put it in the description.
Yep, we'll put it in the description, or if we remember and I catch it, we'll put it up here for you guys. There's a lot of people stitching this. A lot have finished it. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous. And then my last whip, let me get this rolled up so it doesn't get dirty.
Suspension is building.
Okay. Actually, I probably will need that, so I'm just going to hand you that for a second. But
Okay, don't hold it up.
Okay. As you know, Peter's making the Tiny Town spools, which have been so much fun finishing on them. I love it because it's something I can do. But I'm always, thinking, what could we do different? I mean, is there something we could do different besides the Tiny Town? And so I got this not too long ago. I don't think I've filled out an index card. The Keeper of the Pins. A lot of you have stitched this. A lot are stitching it. I love Brenda Gervais designs. Just so pretty.
Very nice.
So pretty. So I thought, I wonder how it would look if I pulled a couple of these or 3 of these and did it around a spool. And so I started out first with thinking, okay, I knew I wanted to do the bird. I wanted to do the Dame of the Needle. And I thought, well, maybe I could do the big spool. Where's the big spool? Let me show you that. This big spool with the tomatoes on it. So that was my original plan. And I copied the charts and started cutting and pasting them together. But when I looked at it, it was too much spool because there's spool in the stitching bird and there's spools and the dame of the needle. And then with the big spool in between, there just seemed like it was too much spool. So I thought, okay, well, let me reconnoiter. And I decided to do the sampler, the red sampler in the center. So I just had to kind of finagle and put 2 spaces here and move that up 1 and, you know, just play with it. So I've gotten 2 parts almost done, which the center is the red sampler, and then the stitching bird is over here. I still have to put the pins in with their heads. And I've got to, y'all that do beading, give me some ideas of what kind of beads I could use to be the heads. With this being, this is a 40 count vintage country mocha, which I love working on this. It's really nice working on it. But let me know what size needle that you recommend. And, you know,
beads.
I mean, beads you recommend. Because I really don't know. I'm not much of a beader. I've done tiny little bit of beading. You know, not enough to be knowledgeable about it. So anyway, and then the dame of the needle is going to go over on this side. And instead of her standing on a stool, you got it?
Yep.
Let me find our picture. To get it to fit, she couldn't stand on the stool, which, you know, I felt bad about that. But, and I hope that the designer doesn't get mad at me for changing her design. Brenda, I hope you don't mind. But see, she's standing on a stool here. I can't show you the chart. And that stool took up, the spool took up quite a bit. Did I say she was standing on a stool or standing on a spool? Standing on a spool. I'm sorry, guys. So anyway, I took the spool out and just had her, I'm going to have her just standing even with this spool. So it's going to be down 1 stitch over 3. And yeah. So I'm hoping to try this. If my calculations are right, it will fit on the tiny town.
Nice. Well, I'll make a tiny town and see if it'll fit.
And I think with the colors and everything that the basswood would look really nice.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that'd be nice. That's nice wood.
Yeah. Okay.
Indeed.
So that's my whip spear.
Okay, very good.
And that's your whip.
Whipping along. We just about.
Whip.
Alrighty.
Okay. Now, and that was a new start for me for the month too, the keeper of the pins.
Oh.
Yeah. So, do you have any plans?
Have any plans? Actually, no.
Yeah, I guess your plans are the tiny town.
Yeah, my plans have been planned for me.
Yeah. Actually, you're probably going to have plans. We're getting ready to go. We're planning our trip. Planning our trip to Findlay, Ohio. Yay!
For the retreat.
We took Buddy day before yesterday. He had to have an interview at Camp Bow Wow.
Yeah.
We've decided that we're not going to take him with us. We really feel like it's going to be way too hard on him. All the traveling. He's just not crazy about travel.
Yeah, he's too old.
If it was Nellie, our other dog that we had, yeah, she would be on that.
All for it. Yeah.
All for it. And loving every minute of it with her head hanging out the door. But Buddy, he's just not. He'll do it if he has to. I mean, if I try to get him in the car and we're going somewhere, I say, come on, Buddy. He'll go sit on his bed and look over the table like, you don't really see me, do you? I'm hiding. He just doesn't like it.
He's a mess. So we're going to board him.
So we're going to board him at Camp Bow Wow. And he was accepted into the camp. So now he is a camper. Yep,
he's a camper. And that's where he's going to be.
That's where he's going to be.
By the time we're gone, we're looking forward to this trip up there because we would like to stop by and visit several shops. Some of you we may be contacting to see if we could come by and visit with you there, and we'd like to document our trip.
Yeah.
Video it, and so we can share that in our FlossTube. Yeah. It'll come up after that as well too. And I would like to get out there and meet a lot of you people who we see you on your FlossTubes and we don't get a chance to meet face to face. And well, this would be a great opportunity to hopefully get to meet a lot of you up there at Findlay as well in Ohio. But I mean, as well as on our
just
trip,
all over.
we're going to cut up one way and go around the other way around there.
Yeah. I'm gonna get in touch with Sassy Jacks. I don't know if she's open yet. I know she's got online. And I know she's gonna be having a store, but I don't know if she's actually opened her shop yet. I know she's got a lot of renovation and stuff. But anyway, we are gonna be going by keepsakes. Yahoo! Oh my goodness, that's gonna be fun. Yep. And a lot of other shops, we're planning the route up. And we've already made our hotel reservations at the Finley Inn.
Yep.
And that's going to be so nice. And Peter has finally consented, is that the right word? Agreed.
Okay, whatever.
To pay the $100 for the meal ticket for the husbands.
Sorry, I'm cheap.
That's $25.
I can't pack enough peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to last the whole trip, so.
Hey, we could live on vitamin P. I mean, we eat peanut butter every day.
Every day, yeah.
Every day. So anyway, a lot of your plans are going to be making stuff to carry and show these shops.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. As a matter of fact, where's our book?
Yes. Let me hear. Excuse me a second.
We wanted to show you all this, and then we'll get in. I have plans too, but before we get into that,
all right.
We thought, how can we show what Peter has done since this all started? Because everything's sold, we don't have physical objects to take.
No,
but we've got a lot of pictures. I mean, I've documented everything, everything that was posted on Etsy, we saved those pictures. So that started back in 2021, and
2 years.
I thought, well, maybe we can just do like a portfolio. Well, I don't really know how to do a portfolio, but then Shutterfly makes really nice books, and it's not an exorbitant price. Yeah. So I went, and Peter, was all in agreement with that. And so I went back and trying to pull. It was really hard to go through all these pictures, all these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of items, and pull, like a handful here and a handful there and a handful there. I ended up with 153 pictures of some stuff that he's
made. He did such a great job over the years of documenting everything, everything we've done, that she's always kept such great records about that. So it's hard to.
It's hard.
So.
I mean, looking at the pictures, it was just like, kind of like when you look at your stitching and you remember what you were doing and where you were and who was around and what was going on. It just brought back, it was kind of melancholy, but not in a bad way at all. It was nice memories of all these wonderful clients that we've had, and just conversations and friendships that have formed. Which I really like those friendships to broaden and become deeper, and to actually be, one-on-one friendships. Right. Yeah. So we're so looking forward to meeting all you guys, Carol and Merritt and Barbara at Keepsakes, and maybe we'll get a chance to see the ladies that we love to watch, that Peter calls the comedians, Pam and Steph. Oh my gosh. But anyway, so I'm put this together, and I had so much fun doing this.
Yeah, she did
I just had so
very
much
creative.
fun.
That just cut into your creative juices. There's a Bee Skep on back with a hole in it. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the way it should be.
This is cherry. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, Peter's finishes.
Well, I love working with good wood. You work with good wood, good tools, and
your talent just comes through.
There.
It's just top notch. This was the post that I posted on Instagram, not knowing how to really post on Instagram. I think maybe this is like my first post.
One. That's where it all began, right there.
And Merritt Crawford saw it. Hey, Merritt. And she's the one that got us started. She said, hey,
thank you, Merritt.
Are you selling these? Which we've told y'all this story before. Those that have been with us and knew that's where we got our start of Pete's Bee Skeps. And that name just came to me. I mean, I had to go set up a PayPal account and a stamps.com. And I can't remember what else. Yeah. And I just had to have a name, so I was like, okay, Pete's Bee Skeps. Peter didn't even know it.
I didn't know what a Bee Skep was. So
anyway, it was August 1st. It was August 1st, 2021, and we started selling them, started making them in September. Yeah. So here's a few pictures. Yeah. I won't show you the whole book, but
well, we will go
So we're going to show.
We'll have it with us.
Yeah. So we're going to we'll take this into the shops with us and just show what Peter can do. We're also going to take, some actual physical Bee Skeps and spools and ort holders and cones.
And other stuff.
Yeah, and other stuff. So, but the pictures will give them a good idea. And on the back page, is some of our favorite pictures of us.
Yeah. So someday when we're both past the age of our floss tubing, we'll have this to look back on and reminisce.
Right. This is at the mountain house that we like to go to, the log cabin. Yeah. And this is down by the river. They have a swing that you can just sit on and just enjoy nature and the breeze and the green and yep. So anyway,
you did a great job.
That was fun. That was so much fun. Yeah.
Super. Super duper.
Yeah. So that's a big part of our plans. I also I've got a couple of new starts that I want to do, and along the line of an adaptation that will fit on your spool. I love this chart by Teresa Kogut. I love this chart, Land That I Love. I mean, it's just beautiful. I think she did this in 2020, but it's a big chart. And I was thinking, well, maybe we could just take part of it, and do it. I thought about the strawberries, which I think that would be beautiful. But I think what I want to do, if I can figure out how to do it and get the count right, is do this group of flowers, do the eagle. I might move this over where he's standing on USA, and then try to incorporate either the bird and part of this basket or this flag, bring it down.
Wow. That'll look really nice around the school.
Wouldn't it look nice?
Yeah.
And it's stitched on Tin Roof by Week Style Works, which I'm not real crazy about that fabric. I mean, it's real flimsy and just, I've never stitched on that one, but I have done straw, and I love it. I love the color, but you have to be careful with the stitch. It's just very flimsy. It's the old Weeks. I think that's what they call it. It's not the Swigart base. But anyway, if y'all have stitched this, let me know what you used. What you recommend. It's going to have to be a 40 count for it to fit. I was thinking about doing a 20 count Ada. But anyway, give me some direction there if you've done it or you have any ideas. I would like to start that in April. And then
Chris is coming up, starting tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh gosh, that's hard to believe. Oh, then Christine Hollis from Hollis Hands Creates. I watch her FlossTube. I love her FlossTube. Christine's just a sweetheart, and I really appreciate her. And her son Adam is just so sweet. I'll never forget him wanting to order some Bee Skeps for his mom. For Christmas, she had said, I would love to get some of these, and he was listening, and he got in touch with me and said, how can I get it? It was pretty close to Christmas, and he said, can I get this? Can I get this? And I said, yeah, we'll work it out for you. And I tell you, when I sent it off, I kept looking at the stamps.com to see has she gotten it yet? Has she gotten it? Because it was going to the house, and he was going to try to intercept it before she saw.
Good lad yourself.
I tell you, what a good son. But anyway, Christina started this spring Quaker, and hers is gorgeous, gorgeous. I love this chart. Oh my word, by Lila Studio. I think that's how you pronounce it. And anyway, she's inspired me. I commented on one of her posts on Instagram, and I said, oh, I've got that, Christine, and I love it, and I want to start it. And she said, well, join me. So I've been pulling stuff together. I've got just about all the floss, except I need Blacksmith Blue, Used Brick, English Ivy, Colonial Rose, and then the DMC. So I'm getting there. I've just got to go ahead and bite the bullet and,
Gotta do it.
Yeah. Because I want this to start in April, maybe mid-April. It's gorgeous. She changed, instead of on the Quaker, she changed the color to Old Purple paint. So I'm following your footsteps, Christine. I'm going to do that too. And I did get the called for seraphim. Oh, it's beautiful. Sand dollar. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my word. So, seraphim fabrics. Oh, I just love them.
She's hooked on fabrics.
Oh, quilting fabric. Okay,
And thread.
I've gone from
plans.
quilting fabrics to. Oh well. Yep. So that's part of my plans. And then I've got Whip Go that was just, you know, we just got our numbers not too long ago. And my Whip Go for April is Prairie Schooler number 5, Prairie Schooler Santas, and Tender Father Sampler by Tree of Life Sampling. So those two I'm going to be putting 5 days in each. So that's part of my plans.
Well, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. That's all I've got written down. And we've got haul.
Yeah, and we need to wrap things up here, right? And so,
yeah. Do we have time to do haul, or should we wait
Sure.
and save that till the next time?
Yeah, we can show our haul. I've only got a couple things that I can.
Well, I've got a bunch with. Maybe we need to save that because I don't have all of my market in. So I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show these 3 things.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And Vicky's silks, and then the market haul. We'll do that in hopefully mid-April. FlossTube.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if y'all have used these before from Fat Quarter Shop. They're the cross-stitch finishing dots. And I really find these useful when you're framing or doing anything where you need your fabric to pull over and to get set in place. I used it on the back of my mini bouquet sampler, and it just works great. They're double-sided, 3/4 inch. I think they have a different size also. I don't know if it's 1/2 inch, might be 1/2 inch. But anyway, these, I really highly recommend these. I got my fabric in from Color and Cotton. It's a 36 count, and boy, is it beautiful. Is this a spring color or what? Look at that. Isn't that beautiful?
Nice.
Oh my word, that looks like an Easter egg. And it's called Waterfall. 36 count Edinburgh. I did get in touch with them to see if I could switch to the neutrals, and I was able to get it switched. So next month I will probably have more of a neutral color. I love the colors, but yeah. And then I got my Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine in. And if y'all don't get this, which I think probably most of you do, anyway, if you don't, you need to get it, because this is a wonderful magazine. Even if you don't do punch needle, there's a lot of really cute cross stitch, hopping down the bunny trail. I mean, and the quality of this magazine is just top notch.
Yeah,
it makes me want to start doing punch needle too. I love that primitive look. Just a simple little primitive look in the color. Just what, 3 colors? 3 or 4 colors, and little bluebirds. I mean, isn't that pretty?
Very nice indeed.
Oh, and part of my plans I didn't mention, I've never done a smalls exchange before, so I've got to find what to do for a smalls exchange for the retreat. So if y'all have any suggestions, let me know. It can't be more than 6 by 6. So.
Okay. You'll figure it out.
Isn't
I'm
this
sure
pretty?
you will.
Just this little Easter egg. It's like a Fabergé egg. So anyway, wonderful book. And that's the haul that I'm going to show. And I'll save until I've got one more order of Nashville market to come in. And it's a pretty sizable order. So I'm hoping it'll be in. The date says April the 4th. Or May the
next week.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to narrow it down to 2 pieces of haul, and I'll show all the stuff later. But I just want to show that 2 pieces I got here.
Okay.
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 And both of these are going to be for the tiny town, because that seems to be my whole life is wrapped around tiny town now. We got a new kind of wood in. This is called Tulip Poplar. Really and nice. Again, makes kiln dried, so it's good. It won't bend, warp, or crack, or other things like that on me there. But this is a very interesting wood. It's a bit softer than a cherry and maple and walnut type of woods, but it's still pretty dense. But it's got some really nice grain in it, and I don't know if this shows up or not, but it's got almost a greenish tint.
Yeah, it does.
To some of it there, so
you can really see it on the end here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can see the grain and the green there on the end as well too.
Although this has wax on it, so it's a little different color.
Yeah, what you're seeing on the end is wax, but a lot of times that's what it looked like when it's finished as well too.
Oh, okay.
A lot of times with wood, if you want to see how it looks finished, you just throw some water on it, and it'll show you what it looks like when it's finished. Yeah. Okay. But this is what we normally buy. This is a 4x4 by 12 inches long, and we can get 3 pieces out of these ones here. And unless we have to make a taller one or a shorter one, then we get odd sized pieces, then left with leftovers. But this is a brand new piece of wood that I'll be working with starting maybe this weekend. I don't know. But so we're going to give that a try. That's called tulip poplar. And then
it's fun to try different wood. That's heavy too.
It's pretty heavy. Intense. Not too heavy, but it's
not as heavy as that.
Yeah. This here, this is a wow. This is a boat anchor right here. This is doesn't look like much now, but you've seen this actually before in some of our other work. This is called Purple Heart. It is an exotic wood, and oh my, is it ever heavy! Mm-hmm. And same size as this. I'm planning on cutting some tiny tunes out of this one. So, I mean, with
tiny towns.
Tiny towns. I'll never get it right, but I know what I'm doing. And the camera just went off.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Oh, the battery ran out. One.
Okay, well, if it stopped, I gotta go to the bathroom really bad.
Okay. And we're recording.
We're recording?
Okay. Sorry for the break in the action there. Our little stick we got here, our gimbal, ran out of power and I had to plug it back in. Yeah. I don't know where I left off, but anyway, this is a piece of
Purple Heart.
Purple Heart. Going to make some nice little tiny towns spools out of it there. The only thing I'm worried about this though is because, if you can see this has got a crack in it here, and what I don't know is how deep that crack goes. And this is the danger of buying wood. In fact, you can see it on this end down here. I'm thinking that crack goes all the way through to there. I don't know how that's going to work out when I cut this piece of wood, and I'm hoping I'm not going to be disappointed with it because
it's very expensive.
This wood is it's exotic and it's so expensive. It's going to look really pretty. Purple Heart is beautiful wood.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of disappointed with the quality of this, and we've been searching around for other type of suppliers and that, and wood has just gone outrageously expensive nowadays, and so we'll see how this goes, and we'll leave it at that. Next FlossTube, we'll see how it looks.
Yeah, but that's one reason the cost of our spools have gone up, because the cost of wood, every time we buy it, is more and more.
And the cost of shipping,
shipping is
just increased the cost of our shipping as well.
Horrible. Too, so. Yeah. And I know on Etsy you can charge shipping, but I don't know. It's hard for us when the product costs so much to actually charge shipping on top of that. And what I've read from Etsy, that if you actually charge shipping, then they put you they don't push your shop. And with us being fairly new on Etsy, well, just since May of last year, we don't want to lose customers because we're not getting promoted or whatever. One of these days,
trying to get ourselves promoted is doing everything that we can. Yeah. So we got to kind of play that little game to go along with that and whatnot. So, and that's fine. We're glad to do that, because
we appreciate Etsy too, because they take care of all the taxes.
Yeah.
Which, for us to do our own taxes and get licensed in all these states, they don't have reciprocity, a lot of them. Yeah. It would cost us an arm and a leg, and we couldn't afford to be in business. I don't know how people do it.
No, not a small mom and pop shop like us.
Yeah, yeah. And plus every state is a little different, their laws are a little bit different. And it's confusing.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about that.
Enough of that. Yeah, we're moving on. We survived. We got the power going back again. The gimbal's working, and Kathy's got some stuff to show you.
Right, and I forgot to share Vicki Clayton's Silks hand-dyed fibers. These are the variegated flosses, silk flosses that she has, and they're so beautiful. But I wanted to pull them out and just show you. I hope you can see those. This one is Edge of Chaos and Ingots of Steel.
Her names are as colorful as a floss.
Oh my gosh. These two are stuck together, so knackered? Knackered? I don't know what that means.
Everybody needs to get knackered once in a while.
Yeah, it sounds like that. Knackered or something, snookered. Backseat driver. Look at that lavender. Oh, and green is so pretty. And here's Pedal Steel and Forgotten Histories. Oh, that Forgotten Histories is beautiful. It's like this deep, deep, deep red. That looks like a Blackbird Designs color there. This is, oh, here's a bunch of them stuck together. Okay. A Crew 2.
A Crew 2.
And Earn It Up. Aren't they pretty? Oh my gosh, I just love hers. So I get the variegated flosses and the solid flosses. I'm going to get them as long as I can. I don't know how long it takes to get a complete set. Jumbo Cookies and Sentimental Blue. Am I blue? And then the last two are Rarest of All and Jelly Goodfellow. Aren't they great?
Very nice.
I love them. Her solid flosses have numbers and her variegated flosses have names. I think there's still names on the solids, but they have a number too.
How about
so anyway, and then I wanted to just mention real quick, talking about our dog Buddy. He got sick one morning and Peter had taken him out and he got sick. And it's kind of gross, but Peter discovered in his sickness that he had eaten some magnets.
A whole row of those things.
A whole row of this.
What a
and
dog.
I mean, I've got my ot light, you know, right next to my chair, which is, you know, perfect. And it's metal, so, you know, I can put my magnets and my needle minders on it. And I never thought anything about it. But evidently, I don't know if he gets back there sometime if he's searching for a peanut or an almond, you know, if he drops something.
Rooting around for something.
Rooting around for something. And I think he might have hit it and knocked it off and then thought, oh, it's on the floor. That means it's food.
It's food, yeah. And if he gets it in his mouth, he's eating it.
He ate the magnets.
Not a brilliant dog I got.
But so thankful that he
speaking of which,
you know, he got, so it didn't go through his system, because if that had gone through his system, well, he probably wouldn't be here now. So we're very grateful for that. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys, you know, be careful if you know a lot of people have pets.
We worry about kids swallowing stuff. Well, we worry about our fur kid swallowing
Dog,
stuff.
I tell you, he's just now getting over a urinary tract infection.
I tell
so
you,
it's just. Anyway,
Animals.
so
what can you do with them?
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of let you guys know, because I never occurred to me that he would eat something like that. Never, ever. And even stuff like this, he would probably chew on it.
Yep. Like I said, if he can get it in his mouth, he's going to eat it.
Yep.
Yep.
Anyway, it's been nice visiting with y'all today. I hope you're all well and you're looking forward to Easter coming up and spring here, enjoying your spring. I know a lot of folks around the country still have snow, and you're just really wanting warm weather to come, but it's coming. We've got it
Trade
here.
you some snow for some warm weather. We didn't get any. Well, I take that back. I think 2 weeks ago we had in the morning, Sunday morning, as a matter of fact, maybe 3 flurries hit the ground. It shook North Carolina to the core. Everybody run to the store and buy all the milk and eggs on the shelf. Crazy.
It was so weird. The day before we were in shorts. It was 70 degrees.
The week prior to, we were in 80s. It was in 80s.
I know.
The world has gone mad.
Gone mad. It's bad, I tell you, mad.
So, hang on, buddy.
Anyway, so Peter's going to share.
Yeah.
He's going to send us off.
So as we close here and coming up for Sunday and thinking about the celebrations of Easter coming up, whatnot. This actually doesn't, not Easter related, but it comes out of the Psalms, chapter 40. Verse 16, 17 says, 16 and 17. Excuse me for not enunciating very good. Let all who seek you rejoice and be glad in you. Let those who love your salvation continually say, the Lord is great. I am oppressed and needy. May the Lord think of me. You are my helper and my deliverer. My God, do not delay. So thanks be to God for this time, for this season. In fact, every change of season is just another reminder of God's promise to us that until the time comes, there will be changes of season after season. So thank you again for watching us.
Thank you for watching.
Great being here with you.
We wish you a happy Easter, happy Palm Sunday.
Yep.
Palm Sunday coming up, and then Easter Sunday next week.
And God bless.
God bless. Many happy stitches.
Happy stitches. Bye-bye.
Bye.